Yeah, we do it every year. It's a long process and all. Usually starts in the summer. We put out a call for kids who have had a tough year of it, to come along for a special visit. In theory, they're the ones who are going to stop believing in him first. Why would these kids believe in something they see as magic when real life's given them? In addition to that, I suppose, these are also the kids who are going to get the biggest kick out of coming here. Anyway, they whittle down the numbers until there's only a handful of people left. Oh, you ever seen Charlie and the Chocolate Factory? Yeah, it's a bit like that, like a handful of golden tickets. They usually come along at the beginning of December. It's when we're at our busiest. It's also probably when we're at our most impressive. Because you can imagine the difference, can't you? I mean, a kid comes along in the summer when we've only got a couple of lists and they watch us make one PlayStation a day. Or a kid comes along in December and watches us bash out 20 PlayStations before lunch. And that's, 20 each, not as a whole. 20 each. It was today, actually. Kids came to visit. Sent out the reindeer to go and pick them up like usual, when realistically, we could have just put them on a plane. Like any normal person. But it's got to be a big song and dance, maximum publicity. It's a bit grim if you ask me. And he really acts up when the kids are here. He smiles and he jokes and he dances, sometimes with them, sometimes for them. And you look at the people that work with him, you look at his staff looking at him like, these kids don't know you. We know you. We know what your game is, because in reality, he is hard work, Santa. He is. He's really quite unpleasant. He went for me this morning. As soon as I got in, I went to hang up my coat and my scarf, and I could feel him out of nowhere, just behind me. Hot breath on the back of my head, bits of spit. He goes, "What's going on with the PlayStations?" "Morning, Santa," I say. He says, "Don't morning me. What's going on with the PlayStations?" We're always behind on PlayStations. "Leave it with me," I say. "Leave it with you? Leave it with you. I've been leaving it with you since the 1st of June. Now, you'd be forgiven for thinking we were in crisis territory. That some kids were in danger of not getting their PlayStations or whatever they asked for. It's not true. No, sometimes he just likes to shout. In fact, no. Sometimes he just likes to shout at me. As I said, hard work. So I pass Santa's constructive criticism onto the team, pile on a bit more pressure, just because, wow. Not 2 hours later, he's back in the workshop with us, and he's got the kids, and he's everyone's best mate. And I walk over to give my little talk, and he puts his arm around my neck, really quite tightly, and he pulls me in, and he asks me to explain some of the numbers. Like how many kids have asked for X, how many kids have asked for Y, how many kids are on the naughty list, so are no longer eligible for X or Y, because the numbers really are staggering. They are, they're staggering. But the thing is, they're staggering to me, an adult who works here. They're not staggering for a bunch of kids. And you could tell, because Santa was losing them. And for someone who loves attention and loves being liked more than anything, that was a bit of a sore one, I think. One of the kids raises their hand though, and he says, "Yes, little girl." "If they're busy making all of our presents, who's making theirs?" And Santa just laughs. And I can't remember exactly what he said, but he made some sort of joke. Something along the lines of, everyone here has friends and family and people who will get them stuff, essentially. And then he points at me and he laughs and he says, "Except for this guy." Or something like that. Except for this guy. Which is true. And all the kids laughed too. Well, all but one. The little girl who asked the question, she was not amused. She's got a face like thunder. So Santa moves the group on, and of course they follow him obediently. And of course he leaves the door open, which lets all of the hot air out. So I, trace their snowy boot prints, and I close the door myself. And when I get back to my desk, she's there. The little girl intent on confirming that someone was making our presents while we were making everyone else's. Sounds odd, but I haven't really dealt with children in a while. I think it's a skill in itself, isn't it? Dealing with children. Hi, I say, and she just smiles at me. The tour, they went that way, and she looks at me and says, "Will you show me?" Show you what? A PlayStation, I say. They take quite a while to make. And she just smiles again. And then she sits in a stool as if to say, quite a while's all right. I can do quite a while. I'm not sure we've got the time. And then she looks at me and she does one of those, "Please." And, well, I mean, how to say no to that? I mean, what sort of cold-hearted so-and-so doesn't start making a PlayStation there and then? I got about 5 minutes in before the door whipped open again and Santa came storming in. "There you are," he says. "Come along now. We need to go and see the reindeer. They're much more fun than him." And that's when I realised how steely this kid was. Because, sure, she listened to what he said, and yeah, she looked at him, but then she looked away, and she looked back at me, at my hands specifically, watching me crafting this PlayStation. And he was struggling to mask his annoyance when he said, "Come on, we need to go." "I want to stay," she says. "There's allotted free time at the end of the tour. If you like, we can..." And she interrupts him. Just butts in on Santa like he was... Well, "No, I want to stay. I like it here," she says. And the look he gave her, and the look I gave him, a look that says, "Santa, I know we've had our differences, but I didn't make her say that." Not that made much of a difference. I think, when you're someone who needs to be loved by everyone, it's difficult when a kid doesn't want, when a kid isn't that bothered with you. So his smile faded, and his eyebrows lowered, and that mask slipped. "Just bring her by the canteen at lunch," he says. And then he turns around and storms out, right? Well, he slammed the door that time, actually, which is progress, I guess. She just stayed sat there. And I stayed, making PlayStations. I was smiling, though. I think I realised that kids, for all their faults, they have a way of making people feel small or tall, don't they? I felt so tall after that. And with the year I've had, and I think it's just, I don't feel like I win a lot, And I really felt like I won that one today, which was nice. I made a few more PlayStations while she was watching. And I don't really know if it was all that fun for her because she was fidgeting back and forth and she was swinging her legs and they were clattering against the stool. And then she started rocking. And then she nicked my goggles and put them on, thinking she was cool. Which she was, I guess. Cooler than me. I think anything looks cool if you don't have to wear it. You know, like, as soon as something becomes a uniform, or you have to put on a red suit with a strap-on white beard, then I think you look a bit naff. I did ask her. She was enjoying it. Not because I needed to. You know, I don't have an ego. I don't think. I didn't need her to enjoy watching me make these PlayStations. But you know what she said when I asked? Nobody asked me if I wanted to come today. They just told me when to be ready. Sounds about right, I said. Doesn't it just? Anyway, I walked her back and she rejoined the group. Santa was icy with her and colder with me. Like I said, he's hard work. And we didn't say goodbye or anything. But I did say I might see her again before the day ends. Because I've made her something. It's a PlayStation. Good, huh?